Donald Trump is not going to be debating the rest of the Republican candidates. And we got news that Trump will reportedly do a sit-down interview with Tucker Carlson on the day of the GOP debate on Fox News. Former President Trump will reportedly sit down with Tucker. The first debate of the Republican primary is scheduled to take place on Wednesday in Milwaukee. Who is that? Turn that volume down. What are you doing?
And I am turning it down.
The New York Times reports former President Donald J. Trump plans to upstage the first Republican primary debate on Wednesday by sitting for an online interview with former news host Tucker Carlson. I'm imagining they're going to publish it at Tucker's normal time, which will absolutely compete with the GOP debate. And then who's going to want to watch the GOP debate?
Nobody.
Oh, that's true.
I can't imagine that anyone watching the GOP debate over Donald Trump with Tucker.
Is it going to be Vivek and Ron?
And some other people, as like, who else is running?
Tim Scott?
Mike Pence.
Mike Pence is going to be there?
Nikki Haley.
Oh,
I'll watch it for Vivek. I'm excited
yes.
to see him.
Gun Haley.
But what I heard a lot of comments, people were saying online that Vivek is going to be like Tulsi Gabbard to Ron DeSantis as Kamala. Like Vivek is too good at this.
It'll be, I mean, maybe,
well,
but it's not, it doesn't matter because it's not going to be as much fun because, like, no matter how bad DeSantis is, he's not as terrible as Kamala Harris. Like, that was an absolutely beautiful takedown of Kamala
but
Harris.
But, you know, and again, it is not fair to compare Ron DeSantis to Kamala Harris because Kamala Harris is like at the bottom of the barrel, like Gollum from Lord of the Rings.
1%.
And, you know, Ron's actually done a good job in Florida to varying degrees of argument.
I would disagree.
Well, that's why I say at least there's an argument. Kamala Harris, I don't think has support from literally anybody, not even Democrats.
Do you think there's a better governor than him?
Yeah, look, I think that Florida has always had pretty good governors, right? It's pretty much a red state. It's not necessarily red in terms of our political makeup, but in terms of the governors that we've had over the last few years, yeah, we have had Republican governors. But really, Florida is the largest swing state in the nation, and I wouldn't necessarily say that it is a pure red state. What happened is that during COVID, you had a large influx of people from New York and New Jersey and California moving into Florida because they wanted, right, to escape the lockdowns, because they thought that Florida was going to be more free and open than places like New York and New Jersey. And while it's true that our restrictions and our lockdowns were not as draconian, at one point in time they were, and they did lock down parts of Florida, and there were lockdown orders and masking orders, and Ron DeSantis did advocate for the vaccine. And so then what happened is a lot of those people that moved, well, those are going to be conservatives for the most part, right, who moved to a state to escape leftist policies. Well, they registered to vote, and then the Republican registration rate surpassed the Democrat registration rate. But the actual makeup of Florida is not majority Republican. And so this is like one of those misconceptions that we were talking about this morning, because I really feel like they've been trying to position Ron DeSantis as a Manchurian candidate, and they're trying to push this narrative that he's the only successful governor in the country because they needed somebody that could challenge Donald Trump. But
Laura's correct. We talked about this when DeSantis won. The narrative they're putting out is that he's such a good governor, he converted all of these people to the Republican Party. But look at Miami-Dade. It is true. I do believe that many people probably said, you know what, I'm going to vote for, you know, I used to be a Democrat, now I'll vote for Ron. But we know we had mass migration into Florida. It was the #1 destination. That may be to Ron DeSantis' credit for whatever reason, but it's conservatives who moved in and were already going to vote conservative that gave him the massive 20% margin. I want to give him credit because he attracted conservatives to Florida. But I also want to make sure we give decent credit to the Democrats for being so awful. They drove people out of their states into Florida.
Like the way Ron handled COVID, the lockdowns, eventually he got to the point where he was like, we're done. We're not doing this anymore. And he spoke up for a lot of people in the United States that were on a downward spiral towards lockdown or shutdown.
But the thing is that he spoke up about it, right? He went on Fox News, and we talked about this morning. He would go on Fox News and talk about the free state of Florida. And one thing that I would say that Ron DeSantis' greatest accomplishment is that he has a wonderful PR team, right? He has a great PR team that is not the people that work for him. I'm saying the PR team that's been able to manufacture this image, this facade, right? That he is somehow Trump without the baggage. I'm not saying that the people, right, who work for him are good.
No, hold on. You're correct. Early on, that's what they were doing. And then they lit themselves on fire.
I'm being facetious, of course. I'm saying that I personally, right, as a Floridian and as somebody who's run for Congress in Florida twice as an America First Republican, you know, I see on the ground Ron DeSantis is not a good governor.